Right now, you can open the camera on your phone and look at your own face. You can stare into that small black lens before a video call. You can check a selfie before sending it. You can look at another person on a screen and feel, almost instantly, whether they are looking at you, past you, through you, or away from you. You barely think about it. It feels normal. But there is something strange sitting in the middle of your face. Something so ordinary that you almost never notice it. The white of your eyes. Most animals do not show their eyes the way humans do. In many species, the gaze is harder to read. The eye is darker, more hidden, less exposed. But your eyes are different. They are built with a bright contrast. White around a darker iris, a dark pupil at the center, and an open shape that makes the direction of your attention visible. Your eyes do not only help you see, they help other people see you seeing. Now take away the phone, take away the camera, take away the mirror, the office, the dating profile, the interview, the photograph, the screen. Put a human body back into an older world. No written signs, no traffic signals, no messages, no maps, no warning lights, no usernames, no status updates, no way to say, silently and instantly, "Look there," except through the body itself. Imagine a small group moving through grass, stone, wind, and shadow. A child reaches toward something dangerous. A hunter sees movement between trees. A stranger appears at the edge of camp. Something cracks in the dark. Nobody has time for a speech. A head turns. An eye shifts. And suddenly, another mind knows where to look. So why do humans have wide eyes? And what ancient problem did that strange feature help solve? The answer is not just about anatomy. It changes how we think about trust, cooperation, shame, attention, and the strange pressure you still feel when someone looks straight into your face. Because the whites of your eyes may carry one of the oldest bargains in human life. I will reveal where my attention goes, if you can use that knowledge to stand with me. Most people imagine evolution as a story of hiding. Hide your fear, hide your weakness, hide your intentions. Hide what you want before another creature takes it from you. And in many animals, that makes sense. A visible gaze can be dangerous. If another animal knows exactly where you are looking, it may know what you want, what you fear, or where you are about to move. So the obvious question is uncomfortable. If survival is about secrecy, why would humans evolve eyes that give so much away? For a long time, this feature looked like a small detail of the face. Maybe it was just accidental. Maybe it had no deep meaning. Maybe wide eyes were just one of those strange human traits that happened along the way. But the evidence suggests a more interesting story. In 2001, researchers Hiromi Kobayashi and Shiro Koshima compared the external eye shapes of many primate species. Their work drew attention to how unusual the human eye appears. The exposed sclera is unusually white, and the visible part of the eye is broad and horizontally elongated. In simple terms, humans show more white around the iris than many other primates do. That detail matters because contrast makes direction readable. Picture a face in low firelight. Not a modern face lit by a phone screen, but a prehistoric face, half covered in shadow. Smoke moves through the air. Someone is crouched beside a child. Someone else is scraping stone or watching the edge of the trees. Then one person sees movement. They do not shout. They look. The bright white around the eye makes the shift easier to catch. The dark center moves against the pale surface. Another person follows it, then another. The group's attention turns before words arrive. This does not mean we know exactly how ancient eyes were used in every moment. Fossils do not preserve a glance. Archaeology cannot record a look passed between two people 100,000 years ago. But the structure of the human eye gives us a clue. Our gaze is unusually available to others, and that availability may have mattered. The next piece comes from what some researchers call the cooperative eye hypothesis. In 2007, Michael Tomasello, Brian Hare, Hagen Lehmann, and Josep Call explored how humans and other great apes follow gaze. Their work is often used to support the idea that human beings, even as infants, are especially sensitive to eye direction, while other apes may rely more strongly on head direction. This sounds like a small difference. It is not. A head turn is obvious. It is large. It moves the neck, the face, the whole posture. An eye movement is quieter. It can point without pointing. It can warn without making noise. It can invite another person into your attention without alerting everything around you. Now imagine this in an ancient hunt. One person sees an animal through brush. A raised arm might scare it. A shout might ruin the moment. But a glance can travel through the group like a thin wire of awareness. A child learns by watching where adults look. A novice sees which plant. The elder notices. A hunter reads not just the prey, but the attention of the people around him. The eye becomes a silent tool, not a spear, not a blade, not fire, a social tool. But here is where the story becomes more precise. In 2022, Fumihiro Kano, Yuri Kawaguchi, and Yao Hanling published experimental work testing whether uniformly white sclera actually helps make gaze direction easier to distinguish. Their findings supported the idea that a white sclera can enhance the visibility of where the eyes are looking. Again, this does not prove the entire evolutionary story by itself, but it supports one important piece of the puzzle. White eyes make gaze easier to read. That is the physical mechanism, but the human meaning is larger, because when you can read another person's gaze, you are not only reading eyes, you are reading attention. And attention is one of the most valuable things in a dangerous world. What did they see? Did they notice danger? Did they find food? Are they watching me? Are they afraid? Are they lying? Do they know something I do not? Before writing, before clocks, before maps, before digital alerts, the human face was already an information system. A glance could say danger. A stare could say threat. A softened gaze could say trust. Looking away could say shame, fear, submission, secrecy, or grief. The face was not decoration. It was survival weather. And yet, the story is not settled in a simple way. Some researchers have questioned whether the pigmentation patterns of human and ape eyes clearly prove a single communicative function. A 2021 Scientific Reports paper by Kai Kasper and colleagues argued that ocular pigmentation across humans, great apes, and gibbons does not neatly support a straightforward version of the cooperative eye hypothesis. That caution is important. Evolution rarely gives us one clean reason. The white of the human eye may not exist only for cooperation. It may be connected to multiple pressures, multiple trade-offs, and a long history we can only partially reconstruct. But the pattern remains revealing. Humans are a species obsessed with faces. We learn from faces. We fear faces. We search them for approval, anger, desire, disgust, attention, and betrayal. We can feel a stare before we understand why it matters. We can be unsettled by someone who refuses eye contact. We can be comforted by someone who holds it gently. Your nervous system still treats the eyes as evidence. That is because the human brain is not built only to solve private problems. It is built to enter shared worlds. One of the deepest human mechanisms here is called joint attention. It is the ability for two minds to focus on the same thing and know that they are focused on it together. A mother and child looking at the same object. Two hunters watching the same movement. A group turning toward the same sound. A teacher looking at a tool, then at the child, then back at the tool. That triangle matters. Me, you, the thing between us. Inside that triangle, culture becomes possible. A child can learn what matters by following the eyes of someone older. A hunter can coordinate without speaking. A group can react to danger as one body. A story can begin because everyone knows where attention has gathered. Your eyes are not just organs of vision. They are organs of shared attention, and that makes them powerful. It also makes them vulnerable, because to reveal your gaze is to reveal a piece of your mind. It shows what captured you before you choose your words. It exposes desire before confession, fear before explanation, recognition before speech, shame before apology. This is why eye contact still feels dangerous. A person can be kind, and their gaze can feel like shelter. A person can be silent, and their gaze can feel like a weapon. You know this in your body. You know it before language. You know it when someone looks at you too long in an elevator. You know it when a face on a video call watches you without blinking. You know it when someone you love looks away at the wrong moment. The modern world changed the setting, but not the ancient mechanism. Today, your eyes appear inside screens, cropped, frozen, enlarged, replayed, stored, judged. A face that once belonged to a camp now belongs to profiles, thumbnails, interviews, surveillance cameras, and dating apps. You can be seen by people who are not beside you. You can be watched without being touched. You can look into a camera and not know who is looking back. That is new, but the feeling is old. Ancient humans did not live in a world where attention was infinite. Attention was local, embodied, costly. If someone looked toward the tree line, it mattered. If someone stared at a wound, it mattered. If someone avoided your gaze after conflict, it mattered. Every face belonged to someone whose behavior could affect your hunger, safety, children, status, and survival. So the eye carried weight. Not because ancient humans were mystical, because they were social animals in a dangerous world. Modern life often treats the face as content. We scroll past eyes by the hundreds. We look at strangers in seconds and make judgments our ancestors might have made about people who stood only a few feet away. Our ancient gaze-reading system now fires inside a world of glass, pixels, filters, and performance. And that creates a strange mismatch. Your body still reacts as if a look means something immediate, but the modern world floods you with looks that often lead nowhere. Faces without relationship, eye contact without presence, visibility without belonging. This is the emotional part we often miss. The whites of the eyes may have helped humans cooperate because they made attention easier to share. But shared attention was not just information, it was connection. It meant you and I are inside the same moment. We are seeing the same danger. We are noticing the same child. We are watching the same animal move through the grass. We are together in the world. That togetherness was never soft. It could be tense, violent, competitive, full of jealousy, fear, and risk. Ancient life was not paradise. A readable gaze could help cooperation, but it could also expose weakness. It could reveal desire. It could betray fear. It could start conflict. The ancient solution was not innocent. It was human. And that is the twist. The real lesson is not that humans have white eyes because we became kinder than other animals. It is not that cooperation erased danger. It is not that ancient humans lived in perfect trust. The deeper truth is sharper. Humans became powerful partly because we made attention visible. We allowed other minds to see where our minds were going. That was risky. But it made teaching easier, coordination easier, warning easier, learning easier, culture easier. The white of the eye may be a tiny piece of a much larger human technology. The technology of shared attention. Not built from metal, not stored in a phone, not written on a screen, built into the face, built into the body, built into the uneasy miracle of being readable. So go back to your phone camera, look at your own face before the call begins. Notice the bright white around your iris. Notice how small movements change everything. A glance sideways, a blink held too long, a gaze that meets the lens, then escapes. You are looking at a modern screen with an ancient signal. The phone is new, the camera is new, the profile picture is new, but the pressure you feel when someone sees your eyes is much older than all of it. Modern life gave us distance. It gave us safety, communication, photography, video calls, and the ability to see faces across the planet. That is not a small thing. It is extraordinary, but it also separated looking from being together. It gave us more faces than any ancient human could have imagined, and sometimes less real, shared attention than a small campfire once held. The next time someone looks into your eyes, remember what is happening beneath the ordinary moment. Two ancient systems are meeting. Two bodies are asking an old question. What do you see? Can I trust you? Are you with me? Your eyes are not only yours. They were shaped for other people. Long before screens asked us to look at faces, survival asked us to read them. And somewhere inside the white of the human eye, there is still an ancient bargain. I will show you where I look if you stand with me.